For the past several seasons, basically from season three onward, I've been saying, Karen, the way she's been acting, chasing after Zach, disrespecting him and Fatima's relationship, always giving her friends, mainly Andi, her best friend, the ultimatum of, whose side are you on, Andi? Are you choosing me or Fatima, huh? Your assistant? I'm your friend. And, just going off on Danny because they always never see eye to eye. And I kept saying to myself, Karen is going to end up bitter and alone. She's pushing away a guy who really loves her, Aaron, in favor of chasing a man who's moved on. And she's going to wind up with that baby. The sister circle is going to embrace Fatima because Karen can't come along since, she has a newborn and whatnot. But here we are in season 9. And it feels like Andi might be the one who's going to wind up alone due to the fact that, hypothetically speaking, let's say Karen and Aaron do split town. Andi's quote-unquote best friend is gone. Danny has laid down the gauntlet, not in terms of an ultimatum, but in terms of, hey, here's what I'm not putting up with anymore, and that's fake friends who lie. And Sabrina's backing her up, considering Andi called Sabrina last night to vent to her about the way Danny went in on her at the penthouse when she caught her there with Gary and called her out for lying and stuff. But Sabrina doubled down. Yeah, Danny's right. We don't like it when you lie, Andi, and we have every reason to feel some kind of way or assume the worst, because look at how many times you said you're over Gary or you're not involving yourself with that drama anymore. And then Gary just magically pops up. And then you just all of a sudden go, you know what? I think I'm going to give him another chance because it might be different this time. He seems to act like the way I remember. No. We're not doing this again. And then another thing, your quote unquote best friend who's been in your corner longer than anyone. I don't care how long you and Karen have been friends, but Fatima has had, your back for so long. You would not be where you are now without her. You are treating her, in a funky way because you're jealous of her newfound success at the job, and now low key because Karen called her instead of you. And we know that in Zatima, same timeline later down the line, she's probably going to move into another department of the firm and work in entertainment, or possibly pursue her own entertainment career. Andi is going to be alone soon. Her best friend's leaving town. Her other friends are going to be done with her because of her actions. And, if Karen does leave, she's screwed. Because keep in mind, we've always said since season 1, the girls never truly felt like a group of friends. It felt like they were just bonded because of something that happened in the past. And if we were saying who's a friend to who, Sabrina and Danny were on one side, Karen and Andi were on the other. And the girls really don't gel together without the missing piece. And Fatima will come in and fill in that slot. I could certainly see a situation where, Fatima, Sabrina, and Danny will have their trio of sorts, maybe integrating Angela, maybe even Belinda. I'm mentally fusing the shows together right now. But yeah, I think Andi's going to end up bitter and alone. And she's going to come to realize that being at the top of the mountain for her was making partner. Was it really worth it, considering all the people you had to step on to get your way to the top? Because she never misses an opportunity to flaunt her position. What did she tell Dr. Vaughn? Well, I am the boss around here. Right. And then even last season when Penelope stopped by the law firm and Andi was quick to say, well, I'm about to make partner here. And then she did a slow clap like, I don't care. Like, how many men did you have to sleep with to get that position? And you're over here flaunting your position of authority here at the firm. But how many, look at my brother and how his career is in shambles because of you. You don't care, Andi. You leave people's lives in ruin as you constantly climb the ladder of success. And you're going to look down, and this is a great story if they go that route. It truly feels like Andi is certainly on the path of self-destruction. And keep in mind, she claims to be fighting this crusade against Dr. Cruz, because it's not a personal vendetta, but she's going against Benson's orders not to do it. So what if she does pursue this case and then it gets blocked or whatever? I don't think it matters if she pursues the case and wins or loses. Benson is still going to be pissed off because she did this, and she might end up losing that job. Because let's not forget, if you want to add continuities, Zatima season 4, Zach mentioned the names of the partners of the owners of the firm, and Barnes was not a name listed, showing that, did Andi lose her partner position? Did she get fired or what? What's happening here? And I do feel like at some point, Andi's career is going to be in jeopardy, and she has nobody to blame but herself. And I love the idea that Fatima is not going to be there to catch her, because you got Andi taking her for granted now that she got that little position. Andi's that person that's like, you could be co-workers on the same level, at an office job, a fast food joint or whatever, y'all just chilling, having a good time. But the moment she gets a little bit of power, hey, we're going to make you like, assistant director or one of the supervisors here. The moment she gets a clipboard in her hand, she switches up. That's Andi. Like, imagine if you picked up her slack on the job, or, she had to miss a few days because, sick or whatever, and you did the work for her. She's that kind of person that will act like that never happened. Oh, I got to where I am by myself. That's who Andi is. And she's going to end up alone, single, miserable, and she has nobody to blame but herself. So that's just my thoughts. We look at the haves and the have-nots and how everybody got killed off, but that's wild. But I think Andi, as opposed to everybody around her getting killed off, it's about the bridges she burned to get to where she is now. It's crazy work, but that's who she is.